Coming up on From Beyond Champaign, Illinois is 2-0, and they have scored over 100 points in their first two games. Yeah, they were non-conference opponents. Yeah, they were mid-major schools. And yeah, there's a lot of harder talent to come. That's it, 2-0, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, including some injuries and the good. And I guess there might be a little bit of bad outside of the injuries as well. So lock in with me. From Beyond Champaign coming up next. This is From Beyond Champaign, Episode 5, Season 3. I'm Cody, and the Illinois Fighting Illini are 2-0, baby. We're 2-0. Illinois destroys Florida Gulf 113-70 the other night. Everyone knows this by now. It's not a game recap show, but I just want to emphasize again, they won 113-70, and that was with Tomislav Ivisic. That was basically with Andrei Stojakovic coming back from an injury. Yeah, this team is fun right now. These first two games have been incredibly fun. I woke up the next day after they beat Florida Gulf Coast to see they were number 3 in KenPom. I don't know what it is as of this recording. We're recording this on a Sunday night, 6:15 as of this recording. And the vibes are high. We got Texas Tech coming up. The Bears had another crazy wild comeback win. The Bulls are fun right now. This is a weird feeling right now in my sports fandom. Normally I'm just, getting ready for college basketball season and everything, and with everything else just being terrible. But I'm actually having a fun watching all of the sports right now. It's a really weird thing. But while it's weird, it's incredibly fun. So before I go any further, please hit the like button here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the podcast on audio. All the links to audio are in the description. Follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description. We just went over 800 subscribers this past week. I think we're at 815 now. So whoever gave me the extra boost, whoever promoted me, I guess, I appreciate you. I didn't expect to gain. I think I gained around 20 subscribers in the last week. So I appreciate the new subs. And most of the time, if you're a new sub and you're here, most of the time I will be live, but I am just pre-recording this to put up here this Sunday night. Yeah, so this is a little bit of a Texas Tech preview while also just kind of recapping the last couple of days and a vibe check going into Texas Tech. And to go with some important things to talk about, as you see in the rundown to the right side here, Tomislav Ivisic didn't play against Florida Gulf Coast, and there's a video out there. I don't remember who took the video, but it was a video of Tommy walking to the bench or something like before the game, and he looked fine. And I'm still not even really sure exactly what happened. It's just something that happened in practice, and it's a leg injury, a knee, I think. So we're gonna discuss that a little bit. I got some audio to play from Brad, and yeah, man. Overall, they had an incredible game against a school that they should destroy. I don't remember what the spread was for this game, but I mean the defense really is what is impressive. This team continues to rebound at an elite rate. The threes were falling again. This team shot 35% from 3, 11 for 31 from 3 overall. And again, I felt like their defense was really good. As a team, Florida Gulf Coast, they shot 25% from 3, and they shot 35% as a team overall. So the defense looked great on Friday against Florida Gulf Coast. But let's jump to like what we're all kind of worried about right now, and that's the injury status of Tommy. All right, Tommy, going into this year, I figured would be a top 3 player on this team. I think after kind of figuring how 1 year in college hoops could really help a guy grow into year 2. This guy might be the best player on the team. He probably is the best player on the team. I think he has the highest draft stock of anyone on this team as of today. And he showed that in recent games. What, the last game he scored like 21 points, right? In the exhibition game, he scored like 21 points in 20 minutes. The guy can fill it up. He can shoot it from outside. I think he is a liability on defense at times, especially against certain bigs. But overall, he is a guy who I expected to take, a similar jump as what Kylan Boswell did in this last game. A similar jump to that of, just taking that next step forward after year 1 at Illinois. Before we go any further, I got some audio from Brad on Tommy's injury. This is from Illinois Athletics YouTube channel.
Lower body, just waited to go through all the scans and MRIs and what we do, and we'll thankful that it's not season ending.
Thankful that it's not season ending. I mean, if you watch the video, if you're not on YouTube, if you watch the video, if you go back and watch that press conference or just watch this, come watch the show. Brad's tone, his voice, I don't want to say he's super worried, but it doesn't come off as Tommy is going to play against Texas Tech. That's for sure. And who knows if he'll even play against Alabama. Ideally, you'd like to have him back against Alabama, who had a big win this weekend. I can't remember who the heck they just beat. They were 5.5-point underdogs this weekend against some team, some Power 5 school, or Power 4, whatever they're calling it these days. I want to say Michigan State, but that was Arkansas. And Michigan State won that game. Big win for them. Whoever Alabama upset, they're a good team. Nate Oates, great coach, right? I think we can get by against Texas Tech, but I don't know if we can get by Alabama without Tommy. And I don't think they're going to get by UConn without Tommy. So I didn't expect to win every single non-conference game against the power school opponents, but listen, I want some revenge against UConn, even though the team that lost to UConn in the Elite Eight, none of them are here. I'd like some revenge. I'd like to have our best team out there, right? So I am concerned, and we know how Illinois is when it comes to injuries. They just don't tell us anything, and why should they? They shouldn't. They just it's a competitive advantage type situation. They want teams wondering or guessing if a guy's going to play. The good news is that it's just, he's seen on the court walking perfectly fine. But lower body injury, it's going to be a bit. I just, hopefully Brad gives us a better answer or a better explanation. What I would guess would be tomorrow. Again, this recording is Sunday, and I believe they play on Tuesday, the 11th against Texas Tech. So hopefully we get a better answer or a better explanation of Tommy's injury status on Monday. So, but I think this team, the good news is this team has a lot of depth right now. It's showing to have a lot of depth. I mean, where should I even start? You got Ben Rickhouse off the bench. You got Andre Stojakovic off the bench. I think he'll be a starter eventually. And then you flip him and Jake Davis, and then you'll have Jake Davis off the bench instead of Andre. David Mirkovic and Keaton Wagler, they are lighting it up and showing that they are not quote-unquote freshmen. How the hell did Bill Self let Keaton Wagler get out of Kansas, man? How did he let him, right? And then Big T's brother, Zavonimir, he almost had a triple-double the other night. 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 blocks. 7 blocks. Big T, he was a shot blocker last year for Illinois, but man, I think Zavonimir showed a little bit more edge defensively than I saw from Tommy last year. And maybe it's too early to jump to that considering they played Florida Gulf Coast, but listen, he was one of the top shot blockers in the SEC last year. So maybe Big Z can fill in for now. I mean, I think it's always been about honing everything in for Zvonimir. Like he was the one who was touted as a higher prospect than Tommy I think when he came over, when he came to Kentucky. So maybe this is an opportunity. You know, it's next man up mentality for now. But man, you just think about when this team gets healthy. Last year we're talking about the ceiling of this team. Now we're talking about think about this team when it gets healthy, because right now 100 plus points first 2 games and everyone's contributing all the way down to freaking AJ Red even scored the other night, right? Jaxties, right? I can't say his name. The walk on Fugbimi. I'm still trying to learn how to say his name. Yeah, of course, he's the one of the few guys who's not from overseas on this team. And again, you know, Jake Davis didn't even have that good of a game, but you know he's going to have games where he's going to hit some shots for you. And I think he brings a glue guy type mentality to this team too, with some experience. You know, and Kylan Boswell is not going to score 30 points a night, but he is a guy who shown he can get guys in he can get guys involved. He can get downhill going to the basket and hit some layups. And what did he do the other night? He went 4 of 7 from 3. 4 of 7. I mean, I said all summer they need Kylan to be a better 3-point shooter. And again, I know it's Florida Gulf Coast, but his confidence has to be high right now after that game, right? Got to be high. So, yeah, man, I don't know what else to say about this team from an offensive standpoint. I mean, shit. Mirk, again, quiet, 17 points, 11 rebounds. Quiet, right? Keaton Wagler, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Freshman. And he just looks like he is in control out there. He does not look like a freshman, and neither does Mirkovic. You know? Here's Kylan. Speaking of these freshmen, here's Kylan talking about these freshmen.
The best freshman I've seen in a long time. Just, you know, like me, when I was thinking about to my younger self, I did not have the type of confidence that they got. And I'm glad they came here with just accepting of our teaching, us, you know, Coach Underwood's philosophies and the way he coaches. And I think that's why they're kind of flourishing as a unit. I think day in and day out, they're working and they continue to get better each day. Just trying to, you know, push them to be the best version of themselves.
Best freshman that he's played with. Kylan Boswell's played with some really good players. He played with 2 guys who went to the NBA. 2 guys who went to the NBA. You guys remember Kasparis Jakashonis and Will Riley? I don't know, man. I know it's 2 games. I know that they played 2 mid-majors. I know that tougher opponents are ahead. But there's something about this team that just feels like everything clicks right now. And when this team is healthy and when Andre Stojakovic gets more in tune with his role and is comfortable and healthy, I just feel like we're going to be one of the top 5 teams in college hoops. This could be delusion. This could be correct. I guess we'll see. We've got to watch it all play out. Speaking of Andre Stojakovic, here's Brad talking about him and his game. It started kind of rough. He looked like he was trying to do too much in the first half, but finished the game strong, even though it was a blowout. You just like to see him have some success.
Great to see him out there. You know, he still hasn't completed a full practice with us all year. So his time's been limited. You know, we knew that there would be some shorter stints. Worked out great that we got to play him as many minutes as we did. But I thought in the first half he was, you know, sped up a little fast, maybe a little anxious, trying to do a little much. And then the second half, I thought he just found a nice rhythm. He let the ball come back to him. He made some nice plays. You know, you saw his ability to attack a mismatch, and I thought he competed defensively. I was I told him at the half I wouldn't put him back in if he didn't rebound better, at least go. But he did a lot of really good things. I was glad the three went late. I thought he made great pass to Justin. Made nice reads, but I thought he settled in quite nicely in the second half. And after being out there for the first time in a long time was pretty nice to see.
So nothing too crazy from Brad Underwood, but I do agree with him. It's nice to see him back out there. And yeah, he did look like he was just kind of rushing some things, trying to do too much early. But he, Brad said hadn't had a full practice with the entire team. So, he's trying to show fans that, he came here and he was touted highly for a reason. I can't really blame the guy for trying too hard. But I guess the next question for me when it comes to Andre is, will he start against Texas Tech? Will he get more minutes against Texas Tech? And how long until we feel like he is fully acclimated? He had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, which isn't great. He led the team in turnovers. But again, in 22 minutes, that's fine. But if this team's going anywhere in March, they're going to need Andre Stojakovic. He's one of the few guys on this team, I feel like, who can break a guy off the dribble and take someone one-on-one. He's had a couple shots going to the basket, couple I think he had a post-up turnaround jumper that went in, and he hit a 3. So, this was definitely a game that you like to see him get in there and just get his feet wet. And I'm not expecting too much going into Texas Tech, but I guess should we just expect for him to be hitting his stride going into the Big Ten season just because of the injury and just not really having a full practice time with the team? Like, I don't really know what to expect, but I do know in March, he's not the X factor. To me, he is one of the top 3 players on the team in terms of scoring. Brad has compared him to Terrence Shannon Jr. in the fact that he can get out and run and be really productive on the fast break. And he thinks he can be a really good defensive player for this team too. So we need to see more, but just happy to see him get out there. And I will be watching to see how many minutes he plays against Texas Tech. So before we get out of here, I want to go back to Big Z. All right. Zvonimir, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks. All right. If Tommy's going to be out, then I expect Zvonimir to start against Texas Tech. Here's Brad on Zvonimir.
Well, I think we've got pretty good players there. I think that, it was nice to see Z impact the game in other ways. I've been really challenging him on the glass. I think he's had 9 in both games. It's been nice to see him do other things other than just shoot threes. He's got a lot of arsenal in his game where he can be that shot blocker. And I think he was second in the SEC in block shot rate. We saw a little bit of that. It was just an aggressive mindset from Z tonight that I liked. Merk's always that way. But I thought that, Jason, Ben, all those guys are different, and they can all do different things. But it's been nice to see that, and we'll see where everything ends up with Tommy. The one thing I know about Tommy, he's maybe as tough as any kid that I've coached, and it was he's going to do everything in his power to be back as soon as soon as he can. We'll see. We'll just so I don't put anything by him.
I do agree with Brad when it comes to Tommy. Remember when Illinois went to Wisconsin last year? This was in I want to say January, February. The entire team is freaking sick. Tommy didn't even travel with the team, but he ended up driving up. I'm assuming someone drove him or he drove up. I don't know. Jake Davis got sick the first 5 minutes of the game, didn't play the rest of the game. Illinois got their doors absolutely blown off. But the point is despite being sick, Tommy still found a way to get up to Wisconsin and give it his best effort. I don't remember a stat line for that game, but all I know is this season during the winter months, this team better stay healthy in terms of sickness, because I don't want to listen to Brad talk about, guys being sick. I don't want to do it. I really don't. So the point is, though, is Tommy is tough, and he did his best to give it a go. He got hurt multiple times throughout the year and still managed to play. I think he hurt his ankle in one particular game, stayed in, or at least played the next game. Like, I agree. So right now, I don't see Tommy being out for 2 months. We'll get a better update tomorrow, but by the tone of Brad's voice, I expect Tommy to be out at least a couple weeks, but also, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's back start of December. So I guess we'll see what happens, man. Yeah, I just in the meantime, though, this is an opportunity for Zvonimir to finally kind of show and prove to people, like, hey, I was a highly touted prospect for a reason. Like, honestly, right? Listen, 16, 9, and 7 blocks is impressive against whoever you play. But let's just be honest, it was Florida Gulf Coast. Their talent isn't as good as what we're going to see against Texas Tech on Tuesday. It's not as good as what we're going to see against Alabama, right? It just isn't. So while his brother is out, this is an opportunity for Zvonimir. And I just think that he is giving these first 2 games, he has given Illinois a little bit of everything. Defense, the shooting, getting it done offensively, especially. I think he's been a real fun piece to watch so far. But yeah, I think this is an opportunity for him. I was really looking forward to seeing if Brad would ever play them both together. But right now, it ain't going to be that way. But you could see, though, whenever you took Tommy out and then you put him in, it's almost like they both never leave the floor. They're both very similar players. But there was a reason that Zvonimir was more highly touted of a player coming over from overseas. And I want to see more of what we saw from Big Z against Texas Tech as we did against Florida Gulf State. So that's kind of my final thoughts. This is an opportunity for him. But also, Ben Humrickhouse needs to step up, man. 9 points, 5 rebounds in his last game. He had 21 points in the first game of the year. And I'm not letting up. I still think that year 2 jump for him is possible. And I'm asking for 9 and 5, something like that, from Ben Humrickhouse off the bench this year. Like, that's big, right? And Jaxie's 10 minutes, 4 points. He had a block and a rebound. He gave you some production in 10 minutes. Like, 4 points, a rebound, assist, and a block in 10 minutes. You'll take that, right? But I guess maybe we could see his minutes go up against certain teams. He's got the size, but we know Illinois wants to play. They want to play fast. They want to shoot a lot of threes. They want to have the, they want to stretch the floor, right? So I don't see him being out there unless it's with Mirkovic. And yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how things go. But player of the season so far for me is for sure Keaton Wagler and David Mirkovic. All right. I hope they keep it rolling this week against Texas Tech, man. This team so far has been really fun to watch, and I am excited, extremely excited to see how much better they get, because it's 2 games and it's non-conference season. It's November. I know I'm coming off really, really excited and probably a little delusional, but I think what I'm really trying to push is that there's reason to have actual belief that this team can make a really deep run, whether it's in the Big Ten for a Big Ten championship or in March getting to the Sweet 16 and beyond. Listen, Purdue faced Oakland last week and was tied with them at halftime, right? They were getting a lot more hype than Illinois this offseason, and Purdue did end up winning. But to see Illinois do what they've done against these non-conference opponents, they are locked in right now. There's no learning curve for this team, and that's what's really got me like, holy crap, You got Keaton Wagler putting up 22 points as a freshman. You got David Mirkovic coming out here getting doubles. Those two guys, they're probably the X factors of this team right now because you know what you're going to get from Kylan. When Tommy gets back, you know what you're going to get from him. And even though Zvonimir is going to be coming off the bench more often than not, you know what you're going to get out of him and Ben Humrickhouse most likely. Whatever Jake Davis gives you from the three-point line to go with his toughness and whatever else, vibes with his hair, like that's awesome. And I haven't even mentioned Stojakovic in this sentence. So I'm just waiting for Stojakovic to get going, man, because you get what you got from all these other guys to get with Stojakovic. You got yourself a really good team and a team that can score a lot of points. We'll see how the defense comes along. Defense has been great first 2 games. Tougher, talented team Tuesday, but there's no reason that this team can't continue to play good defense against a team like Texas Tech. All right. Before we go, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new here. If you're a delusional Illini fan like me, subscribe here. There's no reason you shouldn't subscribe if you're not a delusional. If you're a delusional Illini fan, there's no reason you should not subscribe because you're in the right place. You're in the right place. So subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Cody_Illini, and subscribe to the podcast as well, From Beyond Champaign on Apple, Spotify. I think that's basically where this show's at. All right. I appreciate you guys' support, man. Again, thank you for over 800 subscribers. Help me get to 900, and then we'll start talking about 1,000. Hopefully before the end of the year. All right. I will see you guys. I'll probably do a show on Wednesday. Doubtful I'm going to do a show right after the game, but Wednesday. I would aim for Wednesday is when you'll see me. All right. But until then, subscribe and you'll find out. All right. I will see you guys later this week. Enjoy this Illini high you have right now, probably. And let's get ready for Texas Tech. All right. I will see you guys later. And as always, ILL. Love you guys.